Hey everyone, this is Demos. I'm going to be doing a playthrough for the 5th level in Children of a Dead Earth, called Orbital Fallout. I can't remember in the previous levels if you're already exposed to nukes at this point, but one thing I do know is this level is the first exposure to this volume of nukes. I believe you start out with 120 Striker nukes, and you've got a whole bunch of other Devastator nukes as well. So one of the keys to this level is to completely disregard the concept of the Hohmann transfer. You don't need to shift to their orbital plane and then match orbits and then slowly slide your nukes up them. You can, but it'll take you a little bit longer, and you don't really need to do that. This level can be done a lot faster simply by setting the enemy as the reference target. From there, all you need to do is adjust the green or the blue slider, the thrust toggle, and it'll immediately point you in the direction. Typically, you know, if you throw the blue one, it'll point your thrust downward. Because of the low gravitational force in this level, you don't really need to worry about it. So as a result, the blue, green, and red toggle become actually fairly intuitive in terms of you can set which direction you want them to go, and they don't go spiraling out of control. So even while you're looking at the enemy ships as the reference target, you can slam your trajectory directly down at them. From there, using the blue overlay that's in the top left, you can see I have it toggled, the middle button. That allows you to see where your trajectory intercepts the enemy's plane, and then from there you can slowly push it in with the green and red toggles. For this level, for the most part, I just shift back and forth between the green and blue thrust toggle. The reason for that is by pushing the blue thrust toggle down a lot and then evening it out with the green one, I'm giving my missiles a greater amount of initial velocity to head towards the enemy. You don't have to do this, but your missiles will come in at a slower initial velocity once you hit the tactical screen. For this case, I have 10 Devastators that I sent at the enemies. I've noticed on the forums that people are talking about the missiles are hitting the engines a lot, or just passing right by the engines, and I kind of tested it out, and it does appear to be true. The missiles can actually target specific parts of the ship, so I selected the parts of the ship that are closest to the front. Because the enemy, their very first method of dodging is just going to be to fire their engine, they're going to start pushing forward, so if your missiles aren't flying fast enough, they're going to end up detonating right behind the enemy ship, as you just saw there. So the important part is to give your missiles as high of initial velocity as possible, so that by the time they intercept the enemy, they're going to be flying at a breakneck speed. They're going to do a little bit of controlled homing to kind of adjust their trajectories once they're in tactical, but they're going to fly straight into the enemy. One of the other things I would like to mention is it's very important to use fleets of missiles that are either, I've found an approximate number, typically around 20 or 30. 20 is kind of the bare minimum. The previous example in tactical clearly was a poor example of only 10 Devastators, but you could also tell they didn't really do anything. As a basic rule of thumb, I don't send missile fleets out unless they're around 20. And you've got enough missiles to go to experiment with. That's, if you send out 20 strike nukes, that's, you know, 6 barrages that you're going to be sending at them. 20 allows you to, like, not lose that many when it comes to, you're only going to lose like 2 or 3 when the point defense systems kick on, and you're still got a much better chance of hitting them with everything. Once you start going past like 50 or 60, maybe even around 40, the nukes start smashing into each other, and that, of course, some of you guys have mentioned on the forums, that is also a problem. And, you know, detonating before they hit the target. Yeah, that pretty much covers it. This little trajectory right here, I kind of don't point it directly at the enemy because I've got a barrage of their missiles heading my way, so I have to kind of skirt around it, and then I just correct for it later and slam into the enemy. Here Here you want to release at least 10 decoys, maybe even 15 if the missiles start coming back around. If you don't, you're absolute toast. But the decoys actually do a fairly good job. In some cases there is a little bit of luck involved, but it's really no harm, no foul. This is one of the earlier levels and you can simply restart the mission. Yeah, but at least 10 of the decoys. In some cases I've noticed the missiles, if they miss you, they may try to come back around, in which case you might want to dump another 5 decoys. But honestly, you've been given enough decoys for this level. You can just hit launch all before the tactical pause, and you should be fine for the incoming missiles. Here we've got 40 nukes coming in. I can't remember if this is, yeah, I think this is what finishes them off. But yeah, once you hit the reactor, it pretty much decommissions everything, including their life support. That's important. So that's gold for Orbital Fallout. Hope you guys are doing great through the rest of the missions, and good luck till next time.